Hi everyone, I'm Melissa and I'm going to show you how to sublimate a 20-ounce tumbler from start to finish. This is the updated version, so I'm going to show you some tips and tricks I've learned along the way, as well as updated baking times that seem to work best for me. So you're going to start with a 20-ounce. This is a straight tumbler, so some of them are tapered. So if you have a tapered tumbler, you're going to need to print a warped image. This is a straight tumbler, so I already printed and cut the straight template, and this is a photo one. So the tapered ones kind of come in on the sides. You will have your straight tumbler, your lid, a straw, the box, and then this little black rubber piece. Now I don't put the black rubber piece on when I package my tumbler. When it's done, I put it right on top, so that way the customer puts it on. That way if it falls off, they don't come back and tell you the tumbler was defective. Okay, so how we're going to start here is I have my image and I line it up just to where it starts to go in down here. So I line it at the bottom. Now you'll notice on this print I didn't cut off the top, and I'll show you why in just a second. And I know some people go all the way to the bottom and cut slits and do all that. I don't do that. So I pull as tight as I can, and I'm going to tape it in the middle first. And you'll notice I lined up so that it meets together at the bottom. And I have about 1/8 of an inch overlap. I don't do more than that. And less than that's really hard to get it lined up, to make sure you don't have any white space. So if you buy your templates from me, they should come ready to use. All you have to do is print. And then I just go all the way up and down my tumbler, taping it straight across. Pulling as tight as I can the whole time. And I pull this way to pull that seam together, because the seam is where you're going to have most of your issues. Alright, so now that I've done that, and I've taped it straight across, now I take my scissors, nice sharp scissors, and I run them all the way right across the top of the lid. And that's why I didn't bother cutting off that top, because I knew I was just going to cut it again anyways. I'm just cutting it straight, even with the tumbler. Alright, so now once I've done that, I'm going to take a long piece of tape and I'm going to go right up and down this seam. Now I push it down from the side right here that is overlapping, and I push it down across . And then I fold this extra over, and that's going to help me get off my shrink wrap at the end. And then I just run my finger up and down that seam, make sure it's nice and tight all the way up and down. Alright, so now I'm ready to put on my shrink wrap. So I'm going to find where the little perforated seam is, just right here, and I'm going to line that up with my little tape line that I did. And the reason for that is once it comes out, I rip it right along that line, and it makes the shrink wrap come off in one thing. Now, when the skinny tumblers with the taper, when you're putting them inside the shrink wrap, this is a tapered one, they go in really easy. But for a straight, it's really hard to get them in there. So what I found is I use one of my messed up skinny tumblers with the taper. I've also seen where people use like a empty 20-ounce soda bottle to do this. So if you don't have a messed up old skinny tumbler, you can do it that way. And then you just so that way you can get it in there really quick and easy. Pull that one out, And again, I'm going to make sure that line lines up with the perforated edge. Put it right in the middle so you have the same leftover top and bottom. And now I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. So I just move up and down the tumbler. Make sure I don't have any air bubbles. All right, so you'll see it's nice and smooth, top and bottom. So what I've also found is you can buy these on Amazon. They're just like rubber bracelets, and you can put them on the top and bottom, and it will help with any fading around the top or bottom. So again, after you shrink wrap, put that on there. And I just put it right up to the top because that's where the biggest issues occur, and then again at the bottom. They make wider ones. I haven't tried those yet, but I want to get some. These were just ones that somebody had recommended, so I bought these, but I do want to get the wider ones. I feel like that would give us a better coverage. It just gives a little bit more pressure to that area. I use tongs to put my or to pull my tumblers out. You can also use heat gloves. I just don't have any. So I'm going to put my tumbler in. Now the time I use, my oven goes in 25-degree increments. So I have it set at 350, but it actually heats to about 360, 365. And I found I still turn mine even though you don't have to if you stand them up. I just feel better about it. So I do 2 minutes and 15 seconds, turn it, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, pull it out. Then I pull my shrink wrap off right away, but I let the print sit until it cools, and then I pull the print off. So let's get started. And it's right at 360. Put that in there. I'm going to set my timer on my phone for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And then I actually did 2 minutes because I was talking for about 15 seconds. And then when it goes again, I'll do another 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And then we'll be ready. Okay, so my alarm's going off, so I'm going to turn it with my tongs and reset my timer. And then when that goes off, we'll pull it out and unwrap it. All right, there's my timer, so it's time to pull it out. Now I take it out with tongs and I just peel those rubber bands off, let them cool, they'll be hot. So now I'm going to reach in and find the tape thing that we had made earlier. And when I do that, peels off. Now I'm going to let this cool before I peel the actual design off, but the tape can get hard to pull, so I'm just going to run my finger just so I have something to pull it once it cools a little. So it'll make it easier to pull that tape off. Because when the tape cools too, it gets harder to pull off the paper. So we'll just let that cool. We'll be back in a few minutes once it's cool to pull it off and show you the finished design. Alright, so the tumbler has cooled. They can touch it no problem. So now I'm just going to take off that tape. And the design I did was kind of like a teal wood with yellow sunflowers and pictures. It looks absolutely beautiful. You can't even see where the seam is. Right here. But see how good that seam looks? The top and bottom looks great. So now is what I do is I put this on here I put my rubber lid on top, put it back in the box. If I'm showing it in my group, I do videos on a little turner. I picked up this little turner at Amazon, and it works great for videos to show off your tumblers and get a lot more orders. Thank you guys. Bye.